Hello students, in today's session we are going to do paradoxical oxidation number. Suppose there is this compound acetic acid. This is the structure. Now look at this carbon. If each of these three bonds break, this carbon will get both the electrons of each bond, because the definition of oxidation number is when the bond breaks, all the electron goes to the more electronegative atom. So if this bond breaks, both electrons will go to carbon. So that means the carbon will get one extra electron. So I have written minus E. Similarly, if this bond breaks, minus E. If this bond breaks, minus E. So this carbon will get total minus 3E. So oxidation number is minus 3. Now look at this carbon. When this bond breaks, incidentally this bond is a bond between two identical atoms. So when the bond breaks, each atom will get back its own carbon. So there will be no plus or minus. But when this bond breaks, then both electrons of this bond will go to oxygen. So this carbon will lose one electron. So I have written plus E, and there's a double bond over here. So when the double bond breaks, then the both two electrons of the carbon, they will go to the oxygen. So I have written plus 2E. So total is plus 3E. So oxidation number is plus 3. That is why this topic is called paradoxical oxidation number, because these two carbons are having different oxidation number, and if you do normal calculation you will not get this answer. That is why we call it paradoxical oxidation number. Now let us look at another molecule, ethanol. This is the structure of ethanol. Now when this bond breaks, the carbon will get minus E. Similarly for this bond, minus E. For this bond, minus E. Now this is a bond between identical atoms, so nothing will happen. So total minus 3E. So oxidation number is minus 3. Now for this carbon, this bond, nothing will happen. But this bond and this bond, minus E, and this bond, because oxygen is more electronegative, so both electrons will go to oxygen. So carbon will lose its electron, so plus E. So total charge is minus E. So that means oxidation number is minus 1. Now let's have a look at the next compound, H2S4O6. This is the structure of H2S4O6. Now first let us look at this sulfur. So when this bond breaks, then the sulfur will lose electron to oxygen, so plus E. There's a double bond, so when the double bond breaks, sulfur will lose 2 electrons to oxygen, so plus 2E. Similarly here plus 2E, so total it is coming plus 5. Now each of these two sulfurs, when they break the bond, like suppose this bond, both bonds get broken, then this sulfur will neither gain nor lose any electron, simply because this is also sulfur, this is also sulfur. So there will be no plus or minus E. So for this sulfur and this sulfur, the oxidation number will be 0. So that is why this is paradoxical oxidation number, because if you do normal calculation, then you will get that all the 4 sulfur is getting 2.5. Now all of you remember one thing, oxidation number can be 0, it can be any positive integer, it can be any negative integer, but it cannot be fraction. So if you get fractional oxidation number, you can be absolutely sure that there is a paradox, and this is what I mean by paradox. So in this particular case, the solution of the paradox is that this sulfur will be plus E and this sulfur will be 0. Now let us look at the next compound, Fe3O4. Now Fe3O4, if you do normal calculation, the answer is coming 8/3. So that means it's a paradoxical case. But here the reason for paradox is something totally different. Actually Fe3O4 is a mixed oxide, which means it's a mixture of two oxides, FeO and Fe2O3. Now in FeO and Fe2O3, I suggest there is no need to do calculation which we did in this one and this one and this one. We can just do normal calculation. So in FeO it is coming x minus 2 equal to 0, so x is 2. And in Fe2O3 it is coming 2x minus 6 equal to 0, so x is 3. So the answer will be that in Fe3O4 all the 3 iron atoms don't have the same oxidation number. One of them is 2 and the remaining 2 of them are 3. Now this one is a very interesting one, potassium triiodide, Ki3. Now this one is a very difficult one because the structure itself is very complicated. So all of you know that you have ionic and covalent compounds. Actually potassium triiodide is a ionic compound. How? Actually, there is one atom, ion, potassium ion, K plus, and I3 minus is an anion. Now, I3 minus anion itself is very complicated, because in I3 minus there are two iodines which form iodine molecule. See, all of you are aware that iodine molecule formula is I2. So these two iodines, they are forming I2 molecule, and there is one I minus ion. This I minus ion is forming a coordinate covalent bond with I2. That means I minus is donating 2 electrons to I2, and that is how all three of them are bonded to each other. So this is a very peculiar kind of a compound where you have an ionic bond, you have a covalent bond between these two, and on top of that you also have a coordinate covalent bond. So this is one of the rarest of rare compounds, and if you do normal calculation, then in that case you will get a very strange answer, but otherwise you will find that the answer is like this. For potassium it is +1 because it is alkali metal. Each of these two iodines will be 0 because it's a neutral iodine molecule. So each iodine, two iodines are bonded to each other, so therefore 0 0, and this iodine is -1, so it will be -1. So the answer will be that two iodines will be 0 and the third iodine will be -1. So this is the topic, paradoxical oxidation number.